Hi, welcome back to American Government. This week we are moving along to our second week of the class, and I know that there was a problem getting some textbooks. So what I did was I uploaded to week one a copy of the first chapter. So you can just click down here and read through the first chapter. It should give you enough information to go ahead and get through this week and look at the test. My computer's a little slow at downloading this right now, but you have that there for you if you didn't get the book yet. So I do apologize for that coming into the bookstore a little bit late. What happened was last semester we used the same textbook in Rapid City, and I think some people decided to hang on to their book. Maybe they just enjoyed it a little too much. So this week we're going to move along. I know your screen won't have all this side information here. This is from prior semesters. I just keep my information as I work throughout the school years. But we're on week two here, so this is what you'll see when you go to week two. If you click on the week two assignment sheet, we'll go through what's required this week. So this week you're going to continue to read each other's introductions. I know some people post a little bit late to that. I want you to make sure you stay on top of this. For an online class, time management is essential. So if you already posted, make sure you go back and at least read the initial post from all the students besides yourself who posted it. I believe there's 32 students in the class this summer. So you should read at least 32 posts and have at least 3 different responses to anybody, but try to get to know each other. What I want to do is try to form a sense of community in these 8 weeks we have together. So make sure you do that. If you don't have your first Dropbox done, make sure that gets completed. I will grade that tomorrow morning. And I know I did hear from some of you that there has been an issue in uploading to the Dropbox. So I'm going to check with the IT department and see about getting that fixed, or see what kind of solution we can get to that. If that's the case, make sure you email me that assignment to the email for the class. So go up here and click on the email, send me an email, and get me a copy of that assignment so I can grade it. This week we're going to move along through the second video of the Constitution USA series, and I think Peter Sagal does a great job of taking a subject that a lot of students find kind of dry and making it a little more interesting. He has a good sense of humor, and he throws it into the discussion, and he makes the Constitution relevant for today. We're also going to start looking at the textbook, and so we're going to be looking at power, and that's an important concept to think about when you're studying politics. So politics is, we decided to develop a political system to manage our society, and power is something that makes us either comfortable or uncomfortable, and there's an ongoing debate over what our system should look like. So you could see the ongoing argument over how our system should work and what it should look like. The last video got a little bit into who controls the power. Should it be the states or the federal government? That's a question that's not always so clear cut with an answer. A lot of people will say, well, they believe in states' rights, but they usually like the federal programs and federal money that comes in. They also like some of the regulations that come from the federal government to protect them from other states trying to impose some power over their neighbors. So in this class we'll be looking at the question of how the government should work, and also I would like you to try to think about who it should work for. So there's an ongoing debate now about power that looks at the fact that maybe the government does a little too much work for people with a lot of money, and they don't do much for people who are struggling. And that's one commonality that you'll see between two recent social movements. So the Occupy Wall Street and the Tea Party both did have an issue with big money having a lot of power. So I want you to start posting responses to the Constitution USA video. So that's that discussion you started last week. And I am really happy that nobody started jumping the gun and responding early to that. So far all the posts just have your initial post. So go ahead and start responding. Remember, I want you to log on at least 3 different days and post at least 1 different response per day. My top performing students generally log on more than that and have more than 3 responses, but the minimum I'd expect to see is 3 responses, and they have to take place on 3 different days. I don't want to see people logging on next Sunday and posting 3 different responses. That won't cut it. There's also going to be another video, so you're going to watch the Constitution USA Part 2 video and complete that Dropbox. And then there's 3 short videos on power that I generally show the first week of this class in a face-to-face setting, and that looks at wealth inequality and how the government power is set up. So you're going to watch these 3 short videos and do a 1 to 2 paragraph response to each one of them. So 3 paragraphs will be fine, just to evaluate what you've learned from those. Then I want you to read the first chapter of the text, and there's a chapter 1 quiz that will be available, so you'll take that as well. And this week, the week 2 discussion thread, there will be 2 different threads. So each thread is worth 9 points, so this is worth 18 points. Make sure you post, again, just your initial response to each of these questions. So the first one is going to look at the second Constitution USA video, and you're going to post an initial response on a main takeaway. It doesn't have to be over something that I have a question on the Dropbox. If you find something else interesting that you want to dive into more with the discussion, feel free to post that. I would like to see you get a little creative there. And then there's a chapter 1 discussion that gets to the textbook. These assignments are all due on the 21st at midnight. And if I'll just take you through this week how this should work. So here is the Constitution USA Part 1 video, discussion. And you click on here and you can get to your initial post from last week and go ahead and start responding to each other. And again, like I said, make sure you do this on at least 3 different days. The Constitution USA Part 2 video is right here. And when you play it, you'll have a YouTube key hit here. You can pull the video up on YouTube and watch it in full screen if you like. Here's the 10 questions. Again, if something else sticks out to you, go ahead and feel free to take note of that and discuss that in the class discussion. Here's the 3 short videos on power. So one is looking at how power is divided in the United States government. The other one is understanding what power is. And the third video is looking at wealth inequality in America. This is an older video, but it asks some very interesting questions, and it highlights how our wealth is distributed in this country. So it should lead to more questions and some different ideas and things you might want to explore. The chapter 1 quiz, that's open for 1 week. And here's the chapter 2 discussion. There are 2 questions that will pop up on here, is looking at Constitution USA. It's a free country, so that's looking at the second video. And the second question is looking at chapter 1 of the text. So again, if you have any questions, make sure you feel free to reach out to me. I will respond as fast as I can. And if you still don't have the book at the end of this week, send me an email and I'll try to figure out what's going on here. I do know the bookstore has a bunch coming in. They should be in on Monday. But I thank you for your time, and again, I'm very happy with how you guys started off this semester, so thank you.